You take their place for the Betfred Oaks first run in 1779. 244 years of history. Whose name will be on the honour roll? We will find out now with Simon Holt.
They're set at the 1.5 mile start, and they're off and racing for the Betfred Oaks. On the inside, Caught You Looking with the white cap, Secret Satire and a noseband going forward. So too Making Dreams on the outside with Seaward Handy in the bright pink and green jacket. You Got To Me is close up, and Treasure towards the outside. They're followed by Dance Sequence and Ezeliya, and then towards the outside War Chimes. They're followed then by Forest Fairy on the inside. The 2 O'Brien runners towards the rear at the moment. Ylang in the dark blue jacket, and Rubies Are Red in the purple and white. Continuing their climb uphill through the first 3 furlongs, it's Making Dreams that makes the running. From Seaward in second now. Secret Satire remains close up with Caught You Looking, and Treasure in the royal colours. Very Handy, the grey filly. You Got To Me is on the outside along with War Chimes, followed by Ezeliya. In the centre amongst the group is Dance Sequence, followed then by Forest Fairy, and still at the back Ylang and Rubies Are Red towards the inside. Turning a little right-handed as they reach the highest point on the racecourse, and Making Dreams is opening up a little, goes 4 lengths clear, maybe 5 lengths clear of Seaward in second. Treasure is third, You Got To Me in fourth. Then on the inside, Caught You Looking. They are tracked by Secret Satire, green jacketed Ezeliya to the outside. Back on the inside is Forest Fairy. From Dance Sequence then War Chimes, Rubies Are Red, and Ryan Moore is at the back of the field in last place on Ylang as they begin the run down towards Tapton Corner. And up ahead it's Making Dreams that leads the way still, a slightly reduced advantage from Seaward in second. Treasure is right there under James Doyle. On the inside is Caught You Looking in a white cap. The nose banded then Secret Satire, You Got To Me round the outside, then Ezeliya, Rubies Are Red. Behind these then Dance Sequence, Ylang just nudged along now into the bridle as they prepare to straighten up for the judge. And up ahead it is still Making Dreams, but they're challenging. Here come the challengers. Seaward, Caught You Looking, is diving for the inside running rail. Out wider, You Got To Me. Ezeliya goes very well in the green jacket. War Chimes is wider. Ylang is beginning to stay on from the back of the field. It's Dance Sequence laying down the big challenge to Caught You Looking. You Got To Me and Ezeliya, and they're followed by War Chimes and Ylang, who's still got plenty to do. Ezeliya and Dance Sequence. Dance Sequence for Godolphin on the far side, just getting a bit unbalanced. Ezeliya now strikes the front under Chris Hayes. Is Ezeliya from Dance Sequence. War Chimes into third, and racing for the line is Ezeliya, who races away from Dance Sequence, and Ezeliya for the Aga Khan wins the Betfred Oaks. In second, Dance Sequence. Third, War Chimes. You Got To Me in fourth, followed home by Caught You Looking, and then Ylang.
Small is beautiful. Ezeliya gives His Highness the Aga Khan a belated Betfred Oaks. Dermot Weld has won the Oaks so many years after his first. Chris Hayes punches the air, and for good measure it's a first Epsom Classic for Dubawi. And he's had the 1-2 as well, because Dance Sequence has run through for second for Godolphin and Charlie Appleby and William Buick. And what a run, as predicted by her trainer, down the outside from War Chimes in third. You Got To Me did best of the Beckett quartet, and the O'Briens never got into it. Ylang running on late, having not handled the track. But the Oaks goes to Ireland, to Dermot Weld. That man again, what a career, another classic.
43 years on from Blue Wind, Mr. DK Weld, evergreen in the Aga Khan green. That would have been oh so sweet.
Dr. DK Weld to you.
3-time winner Ezeliya has brought a huge run down the outside. Chris kept it uncomplicated, sat mid-division off what looked like a strong pace. Dance Sequence bringing up the 1-2 for Dubawi, the master stallion, finally breaking his duck in the best possible style here at Epsom. Looked like Dance Sequence collided with the rail briefly over a furlong out, and Ezeliya running around when she hit the front as well. But Martin, the front two have put them to bed.
Yeah, they have, and it was silky smooth, wasn't it, from Ezeliya? She's travelled really strongly in mid-division. Chris had to be pushed a little bit wider than he might have wanted to be off the home turn, but he came out for a run. She was travelling so well that she made up ground easily and quite quickly on the turn, and then she was out in the clear for a shot at it right the way through the final 2 furlongs. As we pick it up early, Making Dreams goes on, and they are going quick early. The second furlong was 13.36. That's nearly 1.2 seconds faster than the second furlong in the Coronation Cup, and that continued to be the way of it for the following 3 furlongs. As they were climbing the hill, they were going quick, and much quicker than they were in the Coronation Cup earlier.
Ryan Moore on the favourite Ylang. The navy colours out the back, notwithstanding the fact she didn't really come down the hill very well. He must have known there was going to be loads of pace on here, because he was pretty determined to ride a waiting race, as was Wayne Lorden.
Both Ballydoyle fillies happy to drop in as Making Dreams goes forward ahead of Seaward, who had been a little bit keen. Credit to Oisin Murphy, who got Secret Satire to switch off and get cover despite coming out of the gates like her tail was on fire and running free. You Got To Me raced prominently, but no excuses for her. She settled in the top. Colin Keane had the perfect trip through on the top filly, Kochu, looking to run a huge race for Noel Meade to eventually finish 5th. But watch where the Aga Khan green is, just behind the Valmont colours on the outside, only 3 off the rail. Perfectly settled Ezeliya, exactly where he wanted to be, so when he wheeled out he had room.
And here a few hands start to be played. You've got Beckett fillies in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. They were all quite forwardly placed here. Seaward, Treasure and You Got To Me. Treasure starts to come under pressure quite quickly, the Royal Runner.
Yeah, she folded quite tamely, didn't she? Whether she hasn't really handled the track, I don't know. She just didn't seem to be letting herself down, and she went backwards, as you say, quickly. This is the point where Ylang starts to come under a little bit of pressure as they round Tattenham Corner, and you can see she's just not happy, is she? And she clearly hasn't run a race on the day. She's not shown her true form, and it's not an indication of her ability or her stamina. War Chimes has run a huge race.
I mean, don't say the trainer didn't tell you. He absolutely did.
66-1 or something crazy. Makes up plenty of ground down the outside of the winner and runs a huge race to finish 3rd.
And notwithstanding the fact she was hanging down the camber quite badly, War Chimes, but for which she might have finished a fair bit closer.
I think there's a lot of non-stayers in here, Nick. I think there's a lot of fillies that haven't really truly got the trip in a strongly run race, and the winner is obviously a huge exception to that. And we touched on earlier the point that she's from the family of Ezeliya and Estimate. When you go further back through the damn side of the pedigree, there are really stout stamina lines down that side of the pedigree, and that has come to fruition today.
You Got To Me's run a pretty sound race, I think.
Yeah, she ran creditably, didn't she? But this filly has just outstayed a lot of them, I think.
She's a sweet filly, isn't she? And there's so much has been talked about size over the last few weeks.
Well, she is typical of the sire's progeny in that she's short, but she obviously has, as Martin has alluded to, the stamina on her dam side, and she's a huge heart and a great will to win. But I must credit the trainer. There's very few people has remained as consistent for half a century than Dermot Weld.